Just starting episode number 4, and that's talking about visual aids. Now, many of us at any point in time would like to use visual aids. What is a visual aid? Let's define it and then go ahead with so many, let's say, tips, techniques, and we'll reveal so many secrets, so many mistakes that people do while using or delivering presentations using PowerPoint mainly. So visual aids are the tool or the tools used to present while speaking. So these are, let's say, helping materials, helping objects that you use to assist you while delivering your presentation. Now, why are they called visual aids? Because people will look at them, people will see them visually. Aids means helping. It's like when you have your first aid kit, aid, help. So these basically are meant to be helping you as a presenter and helping the participants along, like through the presentation. Now, many people, in fact, don't or have limitations or limited skills when it comes to using or even creating PowerPoint slides mainly. Now, visual aids is not only about PowerPoint. There are many applications. However, the most popular one is PowerPoint, and that this is the one that we will talk about, in fact, today. So let's talk in general, and then maybe we can touch on some of the, let's say, different types of visual aids if time helps us. So this is a visual aid. We defined it. We said anything that will help you deliver your presentation. And the most popular one is PowerPoint. Now, the first thing that I'm going to tell you here, the first tip is don't use PowerPoint unless you can use it. Don't use PowerPoint unless you can use it. Now, why am I saying that? Because many people think they know they can use PowerPoint, or they think that whatever they do, whatever they design, whatever they put in the slides or designing the slides is perfect or is good. No, unfortunately. Many years ago, I met a friend of mine, a trainer, who asked me to, burn his CD, like copy, not burn his CD, like copy his presentation on his DVD or on his CD. And of course, with his permission, I opened the presentation, and it was presentation skills course. Now, he's a trainer going to train presentation skills. When I looked at the slides, no, they didn't look good enough. They didn't look good even. They had so many mistakes. Now, if I am going to mark them out of 10, it will be good if I give him 4 out of 10. So PowerPoint, or using visual aids in general, or using PowerPoint, is not just putting slides together or copy paste or putting some colors and some slide transitions, some animation, and here we go, we are ready to present. No, it's much far from that. So in this session, we will talk about useful tips and techniques that will help you deliver, let's say, a better professional presentation or presentations. So don't use PowerPoint unless you can use it. See, PowerPoint is an application provided by Microsoft or Microsoft Office, just like Word, Excel, PowerPoint. In PowerPoint, just open it and use it. Now, what I see with people, when people open PowerPoint, they go and just play around. Now, when you play around and you don't know what you are doing, you will be in trouble. If you don't know how to get back, how to reverse, then you have to delete the whole thing or restart from the beginning. So if you know how to use PowerPoint, by all means, go play around and use it. But if you don't know, then you are wasting your time, basically. Yeah. Now let's go ahead and talk about the basics. So what do we have in if we want to present? And today's session is very interesting. As I said, I will be talking about so many tips and techniques. So let's start with, see, when you open PowerPoint, the first slide comes and that's called the title slide. Don't do anything, just type in. Now what I see people go and play around with this title slide by changing or moving the boxes or changing the size of the font, changing the color. Please don't do that. PowerPoint was designed and made by professional people, by Microsoft. So they know what they are doing. They put everything as a standard. So just use the standard they put. Unless you have a specific reason for changing and you know how to changing and why you are changing it. Otherwise, it's perfectly well. I personally never change any setting in PowerPoint when it comes to the title slide. Whenever it comes, I just put the title of my presentation and my name at the bottom. And that's it. And this is what you need to do. Yeah. If someone would like to change, ask yourself why. Why do you want to change anything in, for example, just talking about the first slide. Why do you want to change the size, for example, in the first slide? Now it's big enough. The color is black, big enough. I'll be talking about the color later on. So why do you want to change it? Now, some people say, I feel it. No, there is nothing such I feel. We are talking about professional presentations. We are not talking about an ordinary presentation where we present it to your kids or to any other maybe school or informal people attending. Now, in today's session, I'm talking about professional presentations. So all what I will highlight is the professional way of designing and delivering a presentation. So font, don't touch the font. Even in the next slide, if you go and insert a new slide in PowerPoint, the slide is ready with the title on the top and then the text box in the bottom, or the page itself or the slide itself has the perfect size as it is. So never touch the font. A good size font is the readable font. Yeah. What is it? It's 32 in the title starting and 28, 24 maybe, depending on the type of the font as well, will be a perfect size for the text, 24 to 28. 32, again, depending on the type of the font, will be a perfect size for the title. Font, please use the readable font. I know there are many beautiful fonts in PowerPoint. However, we said using visual aids is to help your audience reading and following while presenting. Now, if you put these funny fonts that are put in some of the certificates, I don't have one here to show you, but in some of my certificates, you hardly can read. I have one here. Yeah, you hardly can read this font. Yeah, I don't know what's written in this certificate. Okay? Now they gave it to me and I don't know. Yeah, so I cannot read that. Yeah, so a presentation or the type of the font must be readable. You can read it, or your audience will be able or must be able to read it. So use the readable font. Size, as I said, type, I just explained. Color. Again, why do you want to change? Now, when you open PowerPoint, what is the color of the font? Can someone tell me what is the color of the font the moment you open it? And even the type. Yeah, it's either Calibri or Arial, and the type or the color is black. It's not blue, it's not green, it's not red, it's not yellow. And the background is white. This is the perfect contrast, they call it. Yeah, foreground black, background white. This will give you the perfect contrast for people to see. So why do people change? Just they think it's okay. And I said it, it's not about what you think. It's about creating the perfect professional presentation. Also, it's not how you felt. It's creating a perfect presentation. So never play around unless you know there is a specific reason or you can justify the changes. Otherwise, please, I beg you, don't play around with PowerPoint or change. Now, when it comes to the second item, the background, many people would love to change their background, which is fine, absolutely. But again, think about the contrast. If I have a chance to show you my slides, 99.9% of them are white background. And again, 99.9% black foreground. I never change the font unless, as I said, I have a specific reason. Now, some people will ask me, Hasanain, what if I would like to highlight something? Yes, you can. Use a readable color, not a dangerous color, like red. Don't use red. If you want to highlight, use bold. Use blue, up to the maximum, I would say. Yeah, but choosing another color, again, it's self-preference. You might say you love green, but I don't like green. You like red, I don't like red. I like pink, you don't like pink. So changing, but black, it's a solid color and everybody would love, because see, newspapers are in black, books written in black, and everything is in black, which is perfectly well. It matches all the tastes. Yeah. So background white as much as possible. Foreground is black, or get the perfect contrast. Now, again, between two brackets, people might say, okay, since Hasanain said perfect match, then I can put yellow text, blue background. It works. But imagine looking at this slide or a series of slides for 1 hour. How is that to your eyes? Yeah, yellow foreground, blue background. How does it work? Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, it will hurt your eyes or the eyes of the audience. So go for the basic, and I will repeat, beauty is in simplicity. Make your presentation as simple as possible. Don't go to complicated stuff. Don't complicate the whole thing. Beauty is in simplicity. Yeah. So the background, and we'll come to templates. We'll talk about the templates, which covers also the background. Now, let me talk about the 7 deadly sins of PowerPoint. The 7 deadly sins of PowerPoint. That means people commit these sins whenever they would like to use PowerPoint. Now, let's talk about them. The first sin is sound and slide transition or transitions. Now, sound, you know the sound. And by the way, yesterday, my son, he created a PowerPoint slide and he came to me and said, Baba, can you please check it? Now, the moment I clicked on the first, slide to change it, when I click enter or I use the mouse, sound came up. Another slide, another sound came up. Now imagine how irritating that is. I know sound is good and it looks nice, but not for that. Imagine for every line, for every slide, a sound comes up. Your audience will feel not comfortable and just will leave. Avoid putting sound in your slides. No need. If you think or if you feel that you are creating something nice, something marvelous, something amazing, please don't. This is very basic. Yeah. For those who think that, okay, let me put some sound, they may like it. No, nobody will like it. Yeah. People went to the moon. You just learn how to put sound in your PowerPoint. So please keep it for yourself. You are irritating your participants. Yeah. So no sound, please, in your PowerPoint slides. When it comes to the second point, that is slide transition. Again, try to use the simple transitions available in PowerPoint. Yeah. Now, you might see many slide transition. Now, but let me define. Slide transition is the animation of the whole slide. When you, in the setting in PowerPoint, if you go to slide transition, you'll be able to set up your presentation or slides of your presentation to move. Yeah, the whole slide. It's not the animation of the line, it's the whole slide when it moves. This is called slide transition. Now, there are many types of slide transition. Use the simple one. Again, it's very much irritating putting all these funny stuff when they fly. Yeah, when you do slide transition for your participants or your audience. Yeah, beauty is in simplicity. Unless you have a specific reason for doing it, then go ahead. Otherwise, please use the simple slide transitions. And by the way, the simple of everything in PowerPoint. Yeah, it will look nice and professional. So this is the first sin of your PowerPoint slides or PowerPoint presentation in general. The second one is images. What sort of images are you going to put? I've seen many people still until today putting that man with the one, glass in his eye. Yeah, and doing like that. Yeah, wearing a jacket. Still, since 1995 until today, people are using the same image or images in PowerPoint. It's another sin. Now, why do I need to put an image or images in PowerPoint? There are many reasons. The first one is it will be very much interesting for people to look at an image rather than reading from the text. This is very simple or very logical. The other point is, it's very much descriptive. Yeah, you put a picture, people look at the picture, and you can explain the picture you have put for them. Plus, the picture may be more interesting, yeah, more, let's say, colorful, more beautiful than just, again, a bunch of text. So there are many useful reasons for why putting an image. Now, this is for a big image. What you can do as well, you can put an image that makes your audience remember the slide. Example, if I am putting let's say, objective slide, I will go and put, for example, an objective, a microscope objective, again, to link the objective with that simple image. It makes the slide even much, again, interesting or better than, more interesting, better than having just plain text in the slide. Okay, so images, there are many places where you can pick free images, avoiding copyrights. Yeah, again, there is a copyright issue when it comes to images. So make sure whatever you put in terms of images, you don't violate the copyright for that content. Yeah, so again, we are talking about a professional presentation today. So images, yeah, the internet is available. It's more than an ocean with plenty of pictures, images that you can put in your presentation. Now, this is number two, sin number two. Sin number three, the background. I just spoke about the background when I started today's session. Your background must be as simple as possible, and I prefer the white background. Again, to give you a good contrast, perfect match for any copying and pasting of pictures or putting a picture. It will work perfectly well as a background for the picture or the image that you put in the slide. Number two, there is no preference. It's just white color. Yeah, people might prefer, you might prefer, as I said, pink, but I don't like pink. So just put white, and everybody likes white. Now, there are good backgrounds available in PowerPoint. However, be careful when you use them. Make sure they don't hurt the eyes of the audience. Again, there is a preference here. There are, for example, or there is, if I can remember, in PowerPoint, one nice green, let's say, template. However, I don't like green. Yeah, so don't use green. Again, use nice, simple backgrounds for your audience. Yeah, so this is sin number three, background, simple background. Number four, again, reading. And this is what the majority do when they prepare their PowerPoint slides. They read from the slides. Why do they read from the slides? Because they don't know the subject, or they have not prepared very well, or simply they don't know what they are doing. Yeah. And I said earlier, if you are preparing, writing, or presenting a presentation, know it. And this or these PowerPoint slides are just a guide for you. You don't need to read from them. If you are going to read, then you might as well just print the presentation and give it to us. Yeah? So no reading. Know your presentation. Go there, have a look at the slide, get the point, and go ahead and explain it. Yeah? So this is another sin, reading. Number 4, me paradigm. The me, like you are preparing or designing the presentation for you. Yes, but remember, there is probably, or there are 20, 30 people watching you. So this is not for you, it's for them. So make sure that you are, or you design and prepare your presentation for the audience, not for you. Okay? So make sure, me paradigm, be careful, it's not for you, it's for them. And this is, let's say, a big mistake that people commit while designing a presentation. Make sure the slides are perfectly well designed for your audience and not for you. And this will take us back to the color, font, type of the font, color of the font, color of the background, type of background. It's not for you, it's for the audience. Yeah. So me paradigm is sin number 5. Sin number 6, text heavy slide. And this is what people do. They copy and paste chunks of words or chunks of paragraphs even, and put them in the slide. No, my friend. Yeah, it's meant to be a guide. It's not a book that you are writing. Yeah, text heavy slides is not for PowerPoint. It's for Word. So in PowerPoint, this is the rule. Yeah, 4x4, maximum 5x5. 4x4 or 5x5. What does it mean? 4 lines, 4 words per line, or maximum 5 lines, 5 words per line. Now, this is not a Bible, this is not a Quran, yeah? But this is the preference. If there is 1 or 2 slides that you have to add more, by all means, go ahead. All what we are saying here, try to minimize the number of words in the slide. It's not possible for you. If you put so much, then you have to read it. Otherwise, why did you put 5, 6, 7, 10 lines full of words? Yeah, that means you don't know your topic and you want to read it. So if you read it, you'll give your back to the audience, which is another point. Eye contact, not with the audience, with the slide, for example, and you lose control. Yeah. So basically, minimize the number of words to minimum possible. And that's why we said use an image or a picture to explain. Sin number 7, faith in technology. Don't ever put faith in technology. Now, I have faced throughout my experience many problems, many, let's say, trouble with technology, laptop, and PowerPoint. The reason is you can't trust technology. And I remember once with my friend, again, went to deliver a presentation. He had a brand new laptop. Mine was old, his was brand new, 0 mileage. And he said, let's use mine, the new one. I said, okay, I'll take mine just in case. And guess what happened? As soon as he opened his laptop, it went to blue screen. It didn't work completely. And then we used the old laptop. So sometimes you cannot trust technology, and don't ever put faith in technology, and keep a backup. Always have a backup in a USB, in the cloud, in an email. Check with the place that you are going to present if they have a spare laptop just in case. However, just be ready for these nice, funny events. Yeah, I have many stories to share about that. And believe me, these things happen. If it is your day, then it will happen. Yeah. So these are the 7 sins of PowerPoint. Let me go back and just add a little bit more on them for the things that are not covered. We spoke about transition and we spoke, okay, let's talk about animation. Animation, again, animation is when the text appears in the slide, yeah, how the text flies or the sentences flies, bullet points flies in the slide. Again, use the simple one. Now, don't use the rotating and flying around. Again, it's very much irritating for the audience and distracting as well. Yeah, what I use fly from left to right because it's English, or either right to left if it's Arabic. So simply the text will move like this or like this in all of them. See, be consistent. Consistency is or what makes your presentation also professional. And maybe I need to go back. Don't ever change the font. Don't change the font throughout the presentation. Keep it as it is, yeah, standard. So it will follow the standard size, font type, color, everything. Keep it as it is throughout the presentation. Don't change it. It will look simple and pro as well. So when it comes to animation, use the simple animation that flies, for example, or just appears nicely without any, let's say, distraction to your audience. Templates. There are standard templates available. Again, people are sick of these templates. So you can visit your Microsoft Office website and download the new templates, or there are many websites that can provide you with new templates following my guidelines. Why do I say my guidelines? Because the guidelines I'm giving you for the perfect professional presentation. Now, if someone will give you something else, I don't know based on what, but these are all in the best practices you may need to put or design your presentation. So in PowerPoint, best practices available, check them. Yeah, I'm giving you the best practices that you need. Yeah, so follow them to create a perfect presentation for your audience and a professional presentation for your audience. Yeah, so we reach the templates, as I said, and you can, by the way, you can create your own template. This is a little bit advanced when you go and use PowerPoint. However, try it. Simple steps. If you go to the menu app, go to View and go to Slide Master. And in the Slide Master, and if you are creative enough, you can go and draw or do whatever you like in that. Now, it's not complicated. It needs to be practiced in order to use your own slides or your own design, your own template. So no one will have this template. It's exclusive for you. Yeah, and I do it. I'm not very much creative, not very much even with art, but I like to draw or to make my own templates in Slide Master. I think YouTube is more than enough for you to check how you create your Slide Master. So templates, again, people sick of the ordinary templates available. Try your own to be more creative and better than the others. What if you would like to put some graphs in your slides? Again, go for the simple graphs, readable graphs. I don't say the colorful graphs, but the graphs that people can read and can understand. I have seen many graphs that are difficult to read with so many grid lines, so many numbers, so many, let's say, complicated stuff. Go for the simple graphs, yeah? Go for the simple pie chart and avoid the 3D. I've seen many people go for 3D. Again, yes, they look nice, but unfortunately, they don't look nice for your audience. It's difficult to understand. Go for the simple stuff that people can really read. The aim of your presentation is for people to follow and understand. It's not to show your talent. You might be excellent in PowerPoint and creating all these funny stuff and fancy stuff. These, keep them for yourself. Yeah. But when it comes to professional presentations, we would like to go for the simple stuff that people can understand. Again, put in your mind, this is a presenting, not reporting. If you would like a good reporting stuff, you may use all these funny stuff available. But for presenting, use the simple, let's say, techniques available. Now, spelling and grammar. Yeah. Yeah, whenever I open my presentations, the first thing you put your eyes on is the mistake. And it happens. Yeah, it happens to me many times. Yeah, you go and read it, but again, you find one or two mistakes. Now, okay, these things happen. However, we try to minimize this to minimum. Yeah, let's go back and read our presentations as many times as possible so we can get rid of the mistakes. It's not nice to have a presentation full of mistakes in front of the audience. Yeah, you're in every single slide. Yeah. Thank you, Trainer Ali, for joining. Now, see, now how to put it. One or two mistakes, I might say yes. Yeah, again, this shouldn't be there, but let's forgive you if you will have one or two mistakes. Again, yeah, slip of the tongue or keyboard or typo error. Yeah, so these things happen. However, some presentations will be full of mistakes. What a shame on you. Yeah, you are a presenter. Your presentation must be perfect enough for your audience. So go back, check your spelling, check your grammar, give it to someone else to check it for you. Yeah, have 4 eyes, 10 eyes, 20 eyes, as many as you can, so they can spot the mistakes or they can correct the grammar for you. Yeah. Now, this is when it comes to spelling and grammar. Now, let's move to the last point of today's. Let's read from Lilas before moving to the next point. Sometimes the audience focus on the mistakes in the slides and you lose their attention with your speech. Yeah, this will happen because if they see something sometimes overwhelming, yes, they will put their eyes on it. And this point, again, it's related to the font, the color, and everything that you put that is extreme, I would say. Yeah. So avoid putting these extreme stuff and go for the simple stuff, avoiding all these, let's say, funny situations with your audience. Okay, my last point for today. What do I put in my presentation? If you have questions, please prepare them. I'm moving to the last point of today's session. Now, presentation content. Many people ask me, what do I put in my presentation? Yes, Lilas. Yes, it will be distraction rather than aiding your audience. I wish I can share some of my presentations with you, but inshallah in the future, if I make more videos or better videos than this, I will put some examples of my slides that I use. I use very basic slides. I will repeat, as I repeated many times, a beauty is in simplicity. It's like you girls, yeah? You look at any girl who's putting this heavy makeup, how does she look like? Yeah, she looks odd. However, light, simple makeup may look even nicer than this heavy makeup. And you know better than me, you girls, in this matter, yeah? So yes, make it simple, keep it simple, it looks nice. Believe me and trust me. This is how I work. I'm not telling you where, like I tell you these tips and do something else. This is exactly what I do. Now, presentation content, what do we put? Here we go. We put these following slides. Number 1, we will have, of course, a title slide. What is in the title slide? I will tell you a big secret here. In the title slide, you'll have 2 boxes. One box will have the title of the presentation. The second box, what? It's not necessarily your name. You may not even need the second box. Now tell me, if we all know you, you are our colleague, why do you need to put your name? Good question, isn't it? Yeah, we work in the same office, we work in the same company, and we come to your presentation and we say presentation, for example, yeah, how to write an email. Yeah, this is your presentation. Presenter Hasanain. Now we all of us know Hasanain. Yeah, you're sitting with us every day. So what's the point of putting your thank you. Yeah. So you choose something else. Say, thank you, Yasser AlSaffar, my cousin. Thank you. You can put something else. Yeah. You can put a date, or you can put presented to, or you can put the department. So no need for the name if they know you. Yes, thank you, Mahmoud. If they know you, no need for the name. If people don't know you, even though you are going to, inshallah, in the future, you will be a great speaker and people will be attending your big presentations, Okay, the famous presenter is Muhammad, and you are putting your name here. We know Muhammad is the famous presentation, so why do you put your name? Yeah, but if the name is Juha and they don't know him, yeah, of course, if they don't know, then you go and put your name. Yeah, if you are, I don't say if you are not famous, if you are unknown to them. Yeah. The second box is needed. No, it's not needed. Not always. Yeah. If you have a specific thing to put, for example, a date, put a date. If you want to put a department, put a department. If you want to put a reason, anything but not your name, by all means, go ahead and put it. So 99% of the presentations I have seen, my colleague is presenting, putting his name. I know you, for God's sake. You are my colleague sitting next to me. No need to put your name. This is another sin, another secret. The title of the event could be Lilas, yes, anything you like. Yeah? You can put it, that will help you in the presentation. Yeah, maybe a subtitle of the presentation. If it's a research, for example, yeah, if it's a research, you can put a subtitle for it. Yeah, so this is the first slide. You will have a title slide. The second slide, any guess? Second and third, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, the order here is not important. Any guess what is the second and or third slide? Yalla, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. Content or outline, it can be the second one. Thank you, Lilas. Great. Yeah, good job. Content, agenda, yes, it can be called an agenda, outline, content. All of these are perfect names for the second, or it doesn't matter. Again, it's not a Bible. It depends on where how you want your presentation to be. Yeah, so the second, it can be again objective. That's why, Mahmoud, thank you. It's between the second and third. It's either objective and or content of the slide. So basically, if it's the content, so you will go and put the content of your presentation. And the content of your presentation will be basically the titles of the big titles of your slides. Yeah? Or the main topics of your slide that you are going to cover. Maybe 5, 6, 7 title slides, yeah? So you go and put them along. This is your content, yeah? Content, agenda, outline, as you wish. Then the objectives, of course, yeah? The objectives slide is very important. Your audience needs to know why are they here and what will they gain after listening to you for 1 hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours. It can be an outcome. Yes. Yeah. Now, naming is not an issue as long as you deliver this point to them. Yeah. Now, there is a difference between objectives and outcomes, but I'm not into that now. Yeah. However, it's perfectly well to put either or both. Yeah. So yes, the big promise. So by the end of this presentation, you will be able to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So the objectives of your presentation can be the second/third slide of your presentation. Now, then you move on to the body, the main content of your slide, if you wish. Again, you can move on in your presentation. There is no specific, let's say, things that you either add or remove. However, these are the basic things. And then you move what is next. Now, I finished my body, yeah? I talked about what is next. What is the slide after the body? Yalla, tell me. Big question here. Okay, we have the title slide. We have the content. We have the objective. We have the body, maybe 20 slides. And then last, or not last, this is what I expected. Summary or conclusion. No, my friends, sorry. No, this is a common mistake that so let me put myself with you, we do. And unfortunately, people got that habit. Exactly. Lilas, it's the questions first. Question slide first. Q&A slide first. Why? You need your audience to be seated and listening to your questions and answer session, because there could be something important for them. What we do, and think about it. people know that خلاص, when we reach to the last slide, it is the conclusion. Yeah, conclusion. Let's take our box and go and walk away. Finish. It's done. Then comes the question and answer session, and we have 2-3 people in the audience are engaging, and yes, thank you, engaging or interacting. What about the 20 who have left? Put this in your mind. So the order of your slide at the beginning in your outline, agenda, or content slide must specifically say and highlight that, friends, question and answer, then summary or conclusion. Yeah, so you make sure they are seated for the question and answer session. It's important. Yeah, so everybody will leave with perfect, let's say, question and answer bag. Make sure you do that. Q&A first, then the conclusion or the summary. Yeah, so the last slide will be the conclusion or the summary. Yeah, so don't miss that. So our order will be title slide, content, objectives, the body itself, depending on the subject. Welcome, Abu Ilyas with us, joining us. Thank you very much for your time. Then we have the question and answer, and finally the conclusion. Yeah, this is the order. What do we have here? Yeah, it makes sense. What if there was someone with a hard question or talks more? Okay. And you want to be memorable. Yes, thank you. You want to be memorable. That's correct. But let's answer the first question you had, Mahmoud. Mahmoud, someone hard questions. Yes, you may have someone with hard questions. But again, if you listen to my first probably session or session number 2, what I mentioned that there are 2 types of knowledge, core knowledge and general knowledge. I hope you remember that. If it is within your core knowledge, then you are in trouble. Core knowledge, something you cannot say no. Remember. Okay, I have Mr. Abdullah here with me. Abdullah Abu Idris, a perfect trainer and diver. Now, I'm sure if I ask him a question about diving and his core knowledge, he has to answer it. An example here, Abdullah. Okay, he just joined. Abdullah, how long one cylinder can keep me under the water? This is, I don't know. This is one of the basic stuff for, a diver. Yeah. And here, Zahra Hubail, also the makeup artist, is joining. Yeah, I can ask her a question in her field as well. So she will be able to answer me a question related to the core knowledge. That means something the trainer cannot say, I don't know. Yeah. Now, if the question is related to something general, specific, not very specific, something general, something came up last night. Yeah, it's very perfect to say, I will check and get back to you. Yeah, if it's even the last day, you can say, I will check and send you the answer. Or let's work together to get it. Yeah, it's okay. You are a trainer, you are not a god, or you are a presenter. Yeah, you are not a prophet, you know everything. And I get this question millions of times. What if I cannot? You cannot. So what? You cannot answer that question. It's not the end of the day. You don't know everything. Many don't know everything. I don't know everything. You may ask me a question now and I don't know the answer. People must admit what they know. You are not God, as I said, you are not prophet. You don't know everything. Yeah. So you can always check and get back to them. If you are, or if you can reach them, go there, check the answer and get back to them. Yeah. I hope this answers your question. Now, what do we have here? If we have more questions, yes, we have about 15 minutes to the hour, but we don't want to take the 15 minutes. Let me recap. This is any quick talking about visual aids. Please fire your questions if you have here before we do the summary of the day. Visual aids, we defined visual aids. We said these are helping, let's say, aids to your audience. So they shouldn't be full of text. Beauty is in simplicity. Consider it when it comes to font, colors, font type, backgrounds, templates, and everything. Beauty is in simplicity. Don't forget that. Then we talked about the 7 sins. The 7 sins of PowerPoint, my friend. 7 sins. Let me say it in Arabic. Yeah, al-khataya al-sab'. Khataya, yeah, sin. That means you go to hell if you do them. Number 1, sound and slide transition. Images, background, the me paradigm, reading, text-heavy slides, and faith in technology. Yeah. So then we added talking about animation, templates, graphs, spelling, and grammar. And finally, we ended by talking about what the content of our presentation. That's the title slide, content slide, objective slide, body of the presentation, question and answer first, and then finally your conclusion. This is the summary. There is a question here. Let me read it. What about a thank you slide? I have read that's wrong to add such slide. You can simply thank. Now, in speaking in general, it is yes, the audience must thank the speaker because the speaker spends so much time, delivering and preparing, so the audience must thank the speaker. Again, here, let's just put 2 things here. There are rules, there are guidelines. And everything, let's talk, specifically, I don't say in everything. Rules and guidelines. Rules means right or wrong. You break the rule. When you drive, you cross the traffic light, you break the rule, you go to jail. So similarly, in presentation, in writing, in public speaking, there are rules. Guidelines, they are fine. Yeah, you don't go to jail if you break these guidelines. These are meant to make things for you better. Yeah, better. Now, when it comes to thank you, it's a guideline. It's not a rule. Yeah. Now, who said it's a rule? You open many books and please, if you find that it is a rule, breaking a law to put a thank you slide, then please tell me. Yeah. So it's just a guideline. People say, no need to put this slide because of the reason I told you, because the audience must thank the speaker. So the speaker must just say thank you for your time, for example. It's not to put it. Yeah. So there is no rule for that. Yeah. I hope I answered your question. Any more questions? Okay. If there are no more questions, so we reach now the end of today's session. Thank you very much for your time. And this session will be available in Instagram, IGTV, and as well as in my YouTube channel tomorrow, inshallah. So feel free to watch them. Feel free to ask me questions. And by the way, before you leave, next week, we will be talking about polishing your speech. Yeah, polishing your speech. How to make your speech much better. And the week after, we'll talk about how to become a good MC, master of ceremonies. Yeah, master of ceremonies to introduce the speaker. So we have 2 more sessions left. So next week is about polishing your speech, that how to make your speech better after writing it. Yeah, and then finally, we'll talk about how to be an MC, a master of ceremonies, secrets. Again, the presenter doesn't have a presentation slide. Okay. If the presenter doesn't have a presentation slide, then he may use or she may use any available visual aid tool. He may use the whiteboard or blackboard. He may use the flip chart. He may use the handouts. If you have handouts, you may use the handouts and people will follow you. Now, I don't have a presentation today, for example. It's a real example. All what I did is just talking. Yeah. So it depends. Sometimes it's because of the technology. You go there, your laptop doesn't work. What are you going to do? You prepared for that and the audience are waiting for you. Mahmoud, you can't simply just run away. Sah? You can't simply just run away. You have to do your presentation. Then use this. That's why I emphasize in saying, know your subject, my friends. Know your subject. Don't memorize it. Don't copy any subject from the internet. Be prepared and be ready. Use your own knowledge. Yeah. So yes, presentation slides not available. It's not the end of the day. Yeah. Use here and use here for a good, perfect session. Yeah, you can make some note and deliver. Thank you, Yasser. صح. Yeah, you can make some notes. As I said, you can use your flip chart, request for flip chart, or you can even make it more interesting by having some, I don't want to go too deep, more activities. Yeah, as if brainstorming or discussion sessions, and you can get it all done. Yeah, this is more into advanced training. Yeah, we can have that later on. Okay, for the time being, thank you very much for your time, and I will see you inshallah same time next week.